What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Save Point Podcast, Episode 8. I am Alex, and here we are, another week. The first full week of May is behind us. Welcome in. And in this video, I want to start actually with a main topic first, and then I want to get into some of the comments or topics that I asked you guys for on Twitter. Now, as always, if you ever want me to talk about something specifically, leave it in the comments. Maybe I'll start asking specifically on Twitter on the Friday or maybe Thursday night, and you guys can just ask whatever you want to ask, and we can cover it for the show. And I asked, so I got a lot of, people that commented back. One thing I was thinking of maybe doing an actual just video on outside of this show was on Evil Dead, the game. So I'm going to do that as the main topic. The game obviously releases this upcoming Friday, so we only got 6 days left, and I am very, very excited. Now, on the main channel, I already did my kind of preview series of the why I'm buying Evil Dead and why you should too, that kind of series that I do over there. But for this, I just kind of want to talk about my general excitement because, again, we are only 6 days away. This is the big one. I feel like there's almost more pressure on this game from me because there's nothing else, right? We've had things here and there, like Star Wars Force Unleashed. I reviewed that on the Nintendo Switch. That was about a week and a half after Lego Star Wars came out. We just had Trek to Yomi or Yami, however you pronounce that game's name, which I'm playing through right now. I wanted to get it done to review it, but I've only played about an hour of the game so far. I played it right before I went to see Doctor Strange, so I didn't have enough time to, go all the way through it. And, so again, there's been some things here and there, but Evil Dead, Lego Star Wars was the last one, and then really the next one after Evil Dead isn't until June 10th with Mario Striker League, the soccer game, and The Quarry. Those are the two big ones for me in the month of June. There's a couple. There's Fire Emblem at the end of the month. There's some other ones for sure, but those are the next two after Evil Dead. So Evil Dead, I mean, you got the floor, you got the entire rest of the month of May, from May 13th all the way to June 10th, in my opinion, to yourself. I am hoping to God that this game is going to be good. To be transparent, I requested it for review. I haven't gotten a review code yet. I don't know if I will get the game early. It's possible I don't. Certain developers sometimes give codes a few weeks early. Sometimes they give it a few days early. Sometimes they give it the day of, depending on the level of the influencer or the company. So maybe I'll get Evil Dead earlier in the week. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll be playing it Friday for the first time. But I am excited. I really hope this game can achieve Friday the 13th. That's really where I've set, and I don't think that's an unreachable goal whatsoever. If it reaches a Friday the 13th or Predator Hunting Grounds to an extent, but I really think Friday is like the big one, because Friday the 13th, I would say I definitely like Friday the 13th more than Predator. Predator I have a love-hate relationship with. Friday the 13th I have a love-hate relationship with, but Predator lasted less amount of time than Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th, I played that game every day, multiple hours a day, made multiple videos on it, covered it, loved it for about a month and a half, 2 months maybe. It came out, I believe, at the end of May. And then I was playing that game. I played it on my birthday. I did a birthday stream that year in June, late June. And then I think I played it into July for sure. I was doing like Let's Plays on it. That's how I got to remember, like, well, what videos did I make? Because that would lead me to the time period. I mean, that game, to me, lasted a while before I started to... I knew the bugs. I knew the glitches. I knew the bad servers. I knew, flaws, fatal flaws that turned out to be. But I kind of just ignored them. And just because I love the game so much in terms of just how frantic and crazy it was, that's kind of my hope for Evil. Now, Evil Dead is not that. For one, it's 4v1, not 8v1. And I think you don't even have to play 4v1. You could just play 4 players versus the AI, I'm pretty sure. But it looks great. I mean, it looks really good. When I did the preview series video on the main channel, because it's had like closed betas, I think. It's definitely had betas. I don't know how people got into it, so I guess that part I'm not educated on. But people did respond in that video and said, hey, I was able to play it, and it's really good. Like, you may like it, or you're going to like it, and that's good to hear. I want to like this game. Again, I'm not setting that high of expectations. I want the game to be fun. I want the game to be something that I can play for roughly 2 to 3 weeks, and then I will peace out, most likely. I mean, I would love this to be a game that I come back to. I've said it before in these kind of conversational videos. I tend to have like a list of multiplayer games at my disposal at any time that I like to, if I'm feeling burnt out or if I'm feeling like I just want to play a game and kind of turn off my brain, even though like multiplayer, actiony games, you have to kind of be focused. In a way, turn off my brain. I don't have to worry about a story or characters, which I love those. But if I get burnt out and I want to play other kinds of games, I like to have something to go back to. For Honor used to be one. It was a huge one for me. Rocket League is still one for me. Halo Infinite is honestly one of those for me. So I have like a list. I want Evil Dead on that list. I do. That was Friday the 13th. That was Predator. Give me a game that I can pop in. I can play an hour if I want. I can play 3 hours if I want. If I want to skip it for a week, I can. If I want to play it every day of the week, I can. I like those games. I don't love them as my game of the year or some of the best games of all time, in my opinion, but they are very serviceable to me. And that's just me as an individual, right? So that's what I'm looking for Evil Dead. Give me a game. Obviously, when it comes out this Friday, I will play it Friday, Saturday, Sunday, as much as humanly possible, right? But after that, if I want to skip a couple days, or if I want to play it, one night, skip a night, play it again, I want that. And I hope that the game can do that. And from everything that I've seen, it looks rock solid. There is some worries with the developers in terms of, can they handle it? Will it be able to handle? The biggest thing really... Well, the biggest thing is not servers. Servers are obviously integral and huge with those kinds of games. Friday the 13th servers were awful. Predator Hunting Ground servers were whatever is worse than awful. Abysmal would probably be the word, right? It's actually scary how bad that was. It is a big part, because if you need to wait 15 minutes to enter a thing, or if you're trying to play as the villain, right? If you're trying to play as Jason, or you're trying to play as the Predator, and you have to wait 18 minutes versus 20 seconds as the fire team, that can make a huge... I'm not saying it's nothing. It definitely is something. But the gameplay loop, if the gameplay loop is good, you can kind of put up with it. In fact, that's kind of what I did for Friday the 13th for the first while. It was so much fun, whether you're Jason or whether you were the counselor. It was so much fun for a long time. Talking to people, not talking. I mean, I talked to just random people back then. I talked to no one sometimes. I just turned the mic off. I loved it. And that let me put up with the weaknesses. And so that's a thing. And that was less so with Predator, where Predator had a weaker game, much weaker everything. And then you also had much worse server issues, which hurt that game, in my opinion. I covered that game. I feel like I have the right to that opinion. I covered that game a ton. So for Evil Dead, that's the servers are obviously important, and I wonder how well they're going to hold up. My guess would be not well, and that's just maybe bracing for negative, and that way if it's good, then okay, expect the worst, and then you if you get the best, that's great. But if the game is fun when you're in it, that at least helps, because number one, you hopefully can fix the servers at some point in your life, and number two, it's worth it. It's worth dealing with that kind of stuff if when you're in the game, it's rock solid. So I'm pumped. I'm really, and like I said, I'm more excited for sure. I'm not gonna hide behind it. I'm more excited because it's the only game. This was supposed to actually be the month, back-to-back weeks, I believe. 2 Point Campus and Evil Dead. Now, 2 Point Campus is a game that, when they do trailers on YouTube, it gets 1,000 views. I can beat them most days. For any video I put up on my main channel, I can beat them. But I'm really excited for 2 Point Campus. That game was also supposed to come out in May. It was delayed till August. So with all that happening, again, April really just had Lego Star Wars. That MLB The Show, which I still haven't played yet, and I really want to. And then June, obviously, has got some games. So Evil Dead is the only thing. Therefore, I will be honest, if it does suck, or if it is a game that's fun for an hour and then it quickly becomes nothing, I'd be pretty upset about that. But it's $40. I'm paying the money. I'm paying the money if I get it. If they give it to me, obviously that speaks for itself, right? But I'm willing to do it, and so I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is, and we'll see how the game is. So that is that. In terms of, I wanted to start with that topic. You know what? We'll just skip what I've been up to. I mean, obviously I saw Doctor Strange, but I did a review for it on this channel yesterday. I've watched a couple things. Halo, I watched the day before. Did a review. Gaming wise, I've pretty much just done Halo Season 2 and Elden Ring I played a little bit more of. So that's pretty much the only things I've been up to. I want to get very quickly rapid fire to some of the wants that you guys gave. I will as the weeks go on, maybe we can make, if you want me to really talk about them, we can kind of make them centralized topics. But let me go over some of the stuff you guys asked me for. Joseph asked, maybe Bethesda or BioWare stuff. Where's the gameplay for Starfield? It's releasing this November, and we've actually got gameplay for Hogwarts Legacy before Starfield, LOL. So good question. For Starfield, I really think it's literally as simple as the Xbox Bethesda Showcase. I think on June 12th, we are going to get... Well, and it's tough, and I probably will talk about these more independently, or individually, I should say, as the weeks go on the main channel. What will we see from this game at Xbox Bethesda versus another game? Starfield is one of those, because that one needs, I think, like a 5 to 8 minute gameplay presentation, whereas a game like Redfall or Fable, if you do like a new trailer for Fable, like you wouldn't show gameplay for Fable, right? So I think we're gonna get a lot of stuff. Again, probably maybe you can raise that 5 to 10 minutes of gameplay for Starfield. I think is pretty likely on June 12th. So I'm not really worried. I mean, if the game, I expect the game to have so many bugs when it launches. I mean, that's just Bethesda. I, unlike others though, don't give them a pass on that. When I say, it's going to have bugs and probably be unplayable the first couple days, if not first couple weeks, I don't say that as, well, I'll still give it a 10 out of 10 because I know the game's going to bounce back. No, I find it disgusting, honestly, how like Fallout 76 kind of came out and other games of theirs, they need to come out working. So I am worried about that to an extent, but I'm not worried that we haven't seen gameplay yet. I don't really think that's that's big of a deal. I want to talk about BioWare stuff. Hopefully Dragon Age 4 is shown at Jeff Keighley's Summer Game Fest. I think that's got a pretty okay possibility to do that. Mass Effect is obviously still pretty far off, and then I'm probably going to blank on other games here and there, but those are the main two, right, in terms of the near future and those two big BioWare stuff. Dylan says, how many pickles can fit in a jar of olives? I'm going to honestly, jar of olives is honestly kind of weird. So I buy the olives in like the can. So if I had to put pickles in them, I'd say like 2. That's going to be your answer for that one. Kylie asks, what things are you hoping to hear about at Star Wars Celebration? Hopefully, Jedi Fallen Order 2 is the big one. Like Mandalorian Season 3 will probably get a release date. I could only imagine, right? In terms of the other shows, like a High Republic show, no thank you. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in, right now, like the Patty Jenkins, Squadrons thing. No, I don't know. Star Wars has always been a big love of mine. I love Star Wars to death. I'm not a big fan of Disney with Star Wars at all. The only successful thing I think they've done is Mandalorian, and even that gets shaky if you really start to analyze it. So I still love it, but it just gets shaky if you think about certain things the wrong way. So maybe don't do that. But yeah, so I don't know. In terms of games, I'd love to see some games, even besides Fallen Order 2. I'd like to see. But I don't know if they would, there's no way we would get Star Wars Eclipse. Ubisoft's open world Star Wars game, maybe, most likely not though, right? So that's a tough one as well. JECS said that new Mafia game. So I made the main channel video on Mafia, so I don't know what the topic is that you want me to talk about. I guess if it's just the Mafia game in general, I'm always excited for a new Mafia game. I shouldn't really say that because as you guys may or may not know, I came into Mafia late. I knew about the love for 1 and 2, but I never played them. I played 3 when it first came out and was very mixed and actually more leaning towards didn't like it. Then when the Mafia Definitive Edition came out, I said, all right, this is it. Like, I'm going to give it a chance. I mean, I covered it. Those videos did extremely shockingly well on the main channel, which I was very grateful for, and those games were good. I like Mafia 1 and 2 quite a bit. The remakes, there's still issues. I really hold strong to my argument that while Mafia 1 and 2 are very good games, and Mafia 2 is probably the best one, I don't think any of them have actually put all the good aspects of what a Mafia game could be together. I think like 3 had good elements, that some of those elements were missing from 1 and 2, and vice versa. There were some mainly story and characters that were in 1 and 2 that were missing from 3. And I'm not talking about literally the same characters. I'm talking about good, characters I really like. So I'm always excited. Like, I want a new one really badly. I thought, the funny thing I guess I've seen is everybody's calling it Mafia 4, and then they'll follow it up right after by saying Mafia Prequel. I don't think you can do that. I don't think Mafia 4 you can't call them the same things. This is a prequel. It's not It's not 4 because that would be after. I don't know. So we're going to have to wait years. I mean, this is a game that's going to come out probably 3-4 years from now. We're not going to hear about it or see it for at least another year and a half, 2 years at least, right? So, it's fun. It sucks, though, in a way, right? Because when these games kind of get announced, even like the Max Payne remakes that were announced, right? I think they were remakes, right? I'm pretty darn sure. Too much stuff happens. I can't remember. When those things happen, like, they're exciting in the moment, but then you have to think about it and say, oh, yeah, they're like 3-4 years away, which means 2 years until we see them again. So it's fun that we get the announcement. And if you're wanting to plan your calendar for 2026, you can start doing that. But, it's in terms of like video entertainment, and if people even care to like search, also, from that kind of creative standpoint and what people are actually looking for on YouTube and stuff, like, you can't cover it an insane amount of time, or an insane amount, I guess I should say, right? Because it's like nobody's gonna care after that first like week of the announcement, and then you got like 2 years, and then when it comes out, or when the trailers come out, then it'll be more excited. Then Matthew asked for Evil Dead, and I had told him that yes, that was the one that I wanted. That's the one that I settled on. And then NFT Law said House of the Dragon. So here's the deal with Game of Thrones. I came in extremely late for Game of Thrones. My wife Christy, actually, she got me into Game of Thrones, and we watched all of it up to the final season. So we were prepared for the final season when it came. Well, she had already watched it, so she knew, and then I watched it for the first time with her. So it was her. I don't even think it was her second time. I think it was more than that she had seen it. I like it. The last season was pitiful. It was absolutely disgustingly bad. So in terms of the new one, I'm not willing to forgive and forget quite so easily. I get they're different people and all that different stuff. I'm just not going to go into it expecting much, or really, to be honest with you, expecting almost anything. I mean, I don't care too much about it. So and with that being said, that could end up actually being a good thing, right? So I could see it and say, oh, this is actually kind of okay. Or I could see it and say, yep, there was every reason to not care for this whatsoever, right? So that it's not like, I'm sorry, it sounds boring or a cop-out or whatever. That is truly my response to anything Game of Thrones now. Is I kind of feel resentful towards, and I think I do validly think a lot of people think that. I do. I think a lot of people kind of feel burned by it and aren't going to accept it back so easily, and I think they have to earn it. I think that's fair, and I'm not saying like I'm hoping for it to fail or whatever. I'll watch it, maybe, probably not like day one. I mean, if it catches fire, I don't want to quote the title of the show or anything, Game of Thrones puns, right? But no, if it starts doing well, in terms of like a lot of people start to talk about it, that would definitely help. But I haven't seen so much of it. Okay, so seems to be it. I want to thank you guys all for watching. This was fun. This is kind of a little bit different of what we normally do with this show. So like I said, if you want comments or topics read or whatever, leave it in the comments. We will do it obviously again next week. If there's a topic I come up with, that'll be the main topic, and then we can have kind of secondary ones, right? But let me know in the comments. I'll try to start asking maybe more on Twitter. Maybe I'll even ask on the YouTube channel, like on the community page. That would probably be a smart idea, right? If I was smarter with it and took advantage of that. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and hope to see you all on the next video.